With the recent changes to the House of Representatives and Republicans retaining a majority in the Senate, there could be some impact on your finances. And joining us today, we have CPA Kimberly Washington. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, the Republican-controlled House and Senate before passed some pretty dramatic changes to the tax code with tax cuts, and those are already on the books.
Those are already on the books. We saw a big change in 2017 with the Tax Reform Act that was passed, and that easily passed both the Republican and, like you say, the Republican House and also the Senate House at that time. And so those changes brought about many different changes. Standard deduction has changed. Those individuals who normally may itemize may not have to itemize anymore. We also saw personal exemptions, and dependency exemptions are now going to go away too as well. And this could really impact individuals or households with large children.
Yeah, so if you have 5 kids,
right.
Usually you could say, exemptions for each kid or something like that. You can't do that anymore.
You will not be able to do that anymore. So it may impact those households, but there are some credits that's on the book that could actually help them out too as well.
Now, right before the midterms, President Trump announced that some tax cuts were coming to the middle class. That probably may not happen now with the
Right, with the change, it's probably more than likely not going to happen at this time. So what you will probably see is that the Tax Reform Act is going to be there for a while, but the changes that he mentioned just recently may not take place. It'll be more difficult to pass.
Or even the conversation of those changes.
That's correct, because he stated that it will reduce it by 10% for middle income taxpayers.
All right, what about insurance? The president has said that he definitely wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
Now, what's the situation now?
So what the situation is, he also stated on his campaign that he was going to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. But the case is right now it's here to stay at this point. But what he was successful in doing is removing the individual mandate. This is a mandate that states that if you don't have insurance, that you have to pay a penalty in this case. So that's the big thing that's happening right now. But again, with the changes, you can expect not many things are going to happen as it relates to Affordable Care Act.
We've seen interest rates go up a few times, and that can affect us if we're big purchases or things like that. What do you expect in the year coming?
Right, so what we're going to see at the end of this year, actually interest rates are going to also increase one more time before the end of the year. But what you can expect is that the Federal Reserve will be a little bit less aggressive in raising interest rates. And keep in mind, when interest rates are raised, it impacts all of us, our credit cards, our mortgages, student loans, and all of these different things. So we have to be really mindful in looking at these things as well.
Yeah, so folks really need to pay attention that the election means more than just a changing of the guard. It means a lot for your pocketbooks.
It definitely does.
All right, Kimberly Washington, thanks so much.